Greetings. Today's affirmation is I don't know why I am stopped up, and stuffy today, but I guess I slept with the fan on last night. And winter is coming. I'm here in Michigan, so the weather has changed tremendously. Um, but back to what I was saying. Today's affirmation is I give all to my purpose. There's a plan written for me, and I seek out my soul's purpose by showing up every day as my authentic self. This affirmation came to me this morning as I thought about how um, I personally and in my professional life, um, I maneuver my way into certain situations. And I find that, and I always show up as my authentic self. I'm always this person who has a kind heart, who is respectful, who is loving, um, who is caring. That's just who I am. And it's interesting enough that, when you show up in this way, there are certain situations you find yourself in that that saying that says, don't take my kindness for weakness. Um, a lot of times that's the case. People will associate kindness with weakness. And the the discouraging thing about that is you start to find out who people really are, right? But that goes with the lesson of life, because you have to have a discernment. You have to have some form of discernment to get to that point, to know, you know, people's true selves, true authentic selves. Well, I was talking to someone last night, and they were asking me about how how is it that I'm still single, right? And I just said, I was married. I was with my significant other, my husband, for over 25 years. Between us dating and getting married, it was over 25 years. And he passed away in 2018. We were not together at the time when he passed away. But the point I'm trying to make is that the reason for me still being single would be I I have evolved into this person or this woman who just refuses to settle for any and everything that comes to me. I'm very selective about my time and who I spend my time with. I'm very selective about who I give my energy to. It's from evolving and growth and a lot of hardship actually. But in that, I've learned that because I am authentically loving, authentically kind, authentically caring. That's just something I naturally am. That seem in the environment that I live in, that seems to be abnormal for people. And it tends to um it tends to get a lot of attention in the beginning because they can't believe it. And then when they come closer and they witness it for themselves, and then, oh, she really is that way. Once they really get to know me, I mean, and then that's when the craziness starts. I can't even tell you the number of times that I've befriended someone and then all of a sudden something happens where they or I, maybe I'm the and I always put it off on me. Maybe I'm the connecting factor to it all, but I just don't mesh well with everybody. And I think everybody's like that, but maybe not. There are some things that I just cannot subscribe to. When people do things as indecent and in order, um, and I'm not judgmental. I'm just like, oh, okay. I don't roll that way. And if I don't roll that way, I'm not going to roll with you. Period. So, I guess it's based on a the circumstance, because of course there are situations where you come into contact with someone and there is a basis of grace, you know. Well, if you understand the logic of what love is and you put that in the logic of what grace is, you start to really understand who can be in your space and who cannot. It's just as simple as that. I used to get, well, I still get it. I get this feeling in my stomach that something ain't right. And when I get that feeling in my stomach, I be like, oh, I like this person. I like them. And I'm a little disappointed. But in the midst of that, I still have to go with, what my intuition is telling me. And I have I have these I have these times where I commune or I sit and I meditate, and you know a lot of things, when you start to really knowing who you are, when you start really listening to that spirit that's inside of you and really commune with that spirit and meditate on what that spirit is trying to convey to you, you actually unlock a door that will lead you every step of the way, like your entire journey. The destination, God has a destination for all of us. The vehicle that we decide to use to get there, that's on us. And I sometimes think about how we look at one another and we don't understand or even take in consideration that we all have a journey, and we all have this path that we're going on, and our paths are never going to look the same. They are not identical. So therefore, if I'm on one path and you're on another, um, and your path does not align with mine, then it's okay that we step back, or step back from one another. It's okay that um we separate for a time, because there's going to come a time where we may cross paths again, you know? But even with that, it's not guaranteed that even with crossing paths again that we're going to sync like we did in the beginning, you know? Um, I just believe that life is full of lessons that each of us have to learn individually. It's not, we can't, there's not a curriculum created for us all. We all have our individual educational plan in this thing called life. And we all have to carry out those individual um, lessons on our own. It's so easy to want to, carry or tag along or go hand in hand with another person. But, and that's easy, that's a cop out, really. But um, when it's time for us to be in sync with others, then that'll be shown as well. There's going to be a time where you just have to do this walk by yourself. There's going to be a time where in that you are responsible for learning who you are internally, who that spirit man is that's inside of you is, and how it responds to every aspect of your life. And in doing that, you actually giving yourself a leg up to understand a little bit more, to gain a more wisdom about not only yourself, but about the universe that surrounds you, the entities that surround you, and how they move and how they work in conjunction with you, if that makes sense. So, yeah, today's affirmation is I give my all to my purpose. There's a plan written for me, and I am seeking out my soul's purpose by showing up as my authentic self. So, I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day today. I hope that something that I've said has resounded within you. And if it's not, that's fine. And like I always say, I love you, but God loves you more. Peace.